everything I wish I knew earlier when starting Mortal Shell 2. Some gear that every early game build needs, combat mechanics that you could miss, upgrades that'll make you stay alive longer, a way to alter the appearance of your shells, and how to unlock the somewhat hidden hard mode that drapes the world in night for greater rewards. First though, I want to make sure you're using Vatra's Seal to its full potential, which you'll acquire at the end of the intro tutorial. I recommend switching to this since it allows you to essentially block in the middle of your own attack animations, a huge perk for your character's defense. And it can also be used offensively to tactically freeze your animations right before they strike. Like if you start a heavy attack, for example, Harden during that and bait enemies into it, it'll automatically deflect them off of you and chain into the conclusion of that primed attack. You can use Harden at any point of the animation and just sit in it as long as you want to set up little defensive-offensive damage traps. There's even better ways you can use this mid-animation Harden when you start mixing it with the charged attacks that consume Resolve to cast. Like the charged attack abilities from the Acolyte Stone or the Unwieldy Stone. Both of these can be purchased from the vendor that's in your main home base, and I suggest buying these as soon as they become available. These special attacks take a few seconds to charge as you hold the attack input, which makes these perfect for charging preemptively, freezing with a Harden right before they swing, which should then donk the enemy right off of you to chain immediately into that enhanced combo. With the Axatana, I particularly like the charged light attack from the Acolyte Stones, because its quick string of attacks tends to leave most things in a dead state. Useful to pre-charge this one until the attack flashes, then harden, and let the target spring the trap. When doing this trick, you do need to be on the lookout for unblockable attacks with a red icon though, because those can rip you right out of that hardened state. Like I said, unblockable attacks, but that does not mean entirely uncounterable. If you're able to inflict enough break damage and fill the gauge under the target's health bar, you can even cancel unblockable attacks with a break damage interruption. Like with a blast from the lute, which I'll show you where to find the lute in a minute, because it's pretty good at interrupting those red attacks since the lute can inflict high break damage. Back to the Harden mechanic for just one more concept, because another reason why I love this ability so much is the fact that if you perfectly time a use of the Harden to block damage, it'll instantly recharge use of Harden so you can use it right away again. So you can freely swing out your attacks, tap Harden right before getting hit, continue the combo uninterrupted, and pretty much completely neutralize some enemies' entire movesets. Perfectly timing a Harden also inflicts some break damage on the enemy, so number like 5 use of this one simple tap of a button is that it can easily set up for a riposte. Oh, another thing, you can freeze yourself to neutralize some status effects like poison degen. Before you head over to take on the Corrupted Gate to the east, which functions like the first major dungeon, a few things to go grab first to prepare. To get your map revealed to know where you're actually going, head to these crow spots, which will fill in the region. From the starting beacon of Widow's Overlook, head to the spot I marked with an arrow. I'll also mark it with a hot dog for no reason, so head to the hot dog. You'll go through this shallow patch of water, then you'll find a little fenced-in area, and buried in a grave here, you'll find a new shell, Teal. Now that you have a shell, you can essentially die twice, and earn back use of that shell by dealing damage. After you have Teal, it's easier to now get the other early game shell, so head north from the Widow's Overlook beacon to the location I've marked with cake. You'll see a beacon in the center of the shallow water, and you're going to be going into it. In this location, you'll find the shell Proxima. Now this next step is optional since it's a bit difficult, but if you want a stronger pre-upgraded new weapon early on, just head northwest from where you just found Proxima to the T-Bone Stake. You'll drop off a cliff and see the King's Crypt dungeon, which is the one that has explosive barrels lovingly placed on both sides of the entrance. This place is honestly a pain in the metallic butt since it's littered with tons of annoying pressure plate traps, tripwires, exploding pots, and exploding enemies. Just go slow through here, be careful, because at the end of this place, you'll find the Veteran's Battle Axe. This starts at a +4 upgrade level and becomes a strong early game friend. The dash into heavy attack is particularly good with the battle axe, and I suggest going for it whenever possible. It's that good. You only have to hold the sprint button for like 1 second before hitting heavy attack, so you can chain into the sequence faster than you might initially think. Now that you have one of those 2 shells equipped, maybe that battle axe on you, time to go to the corrupted gate in the east, marked with the pickle or the cucumber, either one. It's the place next to the Mushroom Village beacon. Then cleanse the beacon there to open the corrupted gate. Beast your way through that dungeon, good job, and then you'll get Mether's Breath at the end of it. This item allows you to clear corrupted barriers to access different areas of the map. Like if you head north to this spot now, marked with the ham and cheese sandwich, you'll find the One-Legged Wolf Tavern, where the lute can be acquired. The lute can build up a status effect that inflicts confusion, which temporarily turns enemies against each other, or if it's used on a singled out enemy, inflicts break damage to then set up for a riposte. Some NPCs will even react or dance to you playing the lute, so test this out on people you meet, see what they do. Even the creepy milk washing feet guy.
I see you enjoy it too. Perhaps you'll wash my feet next.
Next is a way to reduce the damage that your character takes, since there's no traditional better armor that you equip in this game, along with also getting more use out of the Tarstones that you'll be finding. One of the more simple ways to just flat out reduce the damage that your character takes, look out for the item Common Moonshine and equip that in your passive item slot. At the start, it only does a tiny amount of damage reduction, but as you find more moonshine, it'll eventually rank up to the point of providing a flat damage reduction tied directly to the total amount of moonshines that you've picked up. So the more that you continue to find, the less damage your character takes. Later in the playthrough, you'll thank yourself for all the moonshine you were grabbing. Keep a lookout for whenever you can buy moonshine too, and grab all of them, like from this vendor in the Mushroom Village, or from this guy in the tavern where you acquired the loot. Something else to always keep an eye out for is when these indicators show that your equipped Tarstones have hit their next highest tier. Any with their icon flashing means they have stopped earning experience until you remove its current level cap, so travel back to your home base and use the furnace to remove that cap to start earning experience for it again. In the first corrupted gate that we cleared earlier, you'll get the etching needles at the end of that, and if you give that to the furnace guy, you'll gain the ability to level up Tarstones. To rank a Tarstone up to rank 3 though, you're going to need a resource called Tar Core, my favorite genre of metal. You get Tar Core by leveling Tarstones, like simply ranking up one from level 1 to level 2. This is an easy way to amass Tar Core. Just periodically equip different Tar Stones to your character that are still at level 1. Then keep those on until they hit level 2, use the furnace, pump them up to their next highest tier, which will spit out some Tar Core, which you can then use to rank up your favorite Tar Stones to their next highest tier. I also highly recommend focusing on ranking up the weapon coating stones that apply either elemental properties or ailments to your weapon. By default, these cost resolve each time you cast them, and only last a certain amount of hits before you need to reapply that buff to your blade. But if you get those weapon coating Tarstones up to rank 3, they become a permanent upgrade that's always now applied to your weapon, making for a massive boon to your character's build. So yeah, keep at least one of those weapon coatings equipped to your character because you want it ranked up as soon as possible, since it will permanently imbue your favorite weapon, like my cherished Lightning Axatana. Next, how to trigger Night Mode, essentially the game's hard mode, and an optional piece of gear you can snag that makes the game much easier. Okay, to turn the map to night and crank up the difficulty, the item you need is real close to the starting beacon, marked with an upside-down donut, and there you'll see a stone monument with an item on top, the Gloombound Flame. Then go back to your home base of Marrow Keep, take the elevator up to the top tower, look for a little lantern sitting there, and feed that the Gloombound Flame. That'll summon Thestis, which will call forth the night, making the entire game more dangerous, but with some benefits. For example, you'll find some locations that indicate that they only open at night, so make sure to mark those spots and remember them, because then you can turn the map to night and go clear those. You can manually turn the map back to daytime in the standard difficulty by just talking to Thestis again. Playing in night mode, though, does yield more gloom, which is used to level up, and glimpse, which is used to rank up individual shells. So if you want to get overpowered a bit, kick the world up into night mode and try to survive on the harder difficulty, because then your character and your shell will be leveling up faster. There's the opposite direction of difficulty, though, of starting the game's easy mode, and to get the required item, be in your home base, head to this side path from the main room, and on this throne here, you'll see the Slayer seal. If you equip this, it will disable achievements on this playthrough, so beware. But the Slayer seal does give you pretty much a win button punch attack that easily staggers most every enemy, along with your sidearm dealing higher break damage as well. You also get health and resolve back after doing a riposte, so you can often spam your sidearm and your active abilities more often with this seal equipped. So yeah, there you go, the easy mode and hard mode in Mortal Shell 2. Now let's talk about cosmetics, because there are alternate appearances for each shell, and I have a method to get you one in the early game if you really thirst to look different. In Marrow Keep, you'll find encircling the elevator room chests with different cosmetic skins for each shell that you found, but they require a black Marrow key to open, so let's find you one of those. From the center beacon of Marrow Keep, go over into this side path to where the training area is. Turn around, and on the wall you'll see small paint markings on the rock. Hit that with your weapon to reveal a hidden path. Break the chains connected to the chalice and then interact with it to warp over to a new location. This area can be kinda difficult early on, but some enemies will be fighting amongst themselves, giving you the opportunity to heroically run. At the end of this short dungeon-like place, you'll find a chest with, you guessed it, a black Marrow key. Return to Marrow Keep and use that to unlock any alternate shade for your favorite shell. Now you look cooler for the rest of your playthrough. Enjoy. One last thing I want to make sure that you don't miss is a big chunky fish. If you find this somewhat tucked away fish, you can trade in gold for gloom. So that means if you've amassed a lot of gold, you can trade it for essentially character level up juice. To find this location, starting from Widow's Overlook, you'll head southwest to the location marked with a milk on an avocado on a waffle. You'll take one of these launcher things over to a different biome, cross a long stone bridge, and then spot a big hole in the ground, like something large broke through the wooden platform. Drop down there and you'll find the somewhat hidden fish. Now you can exchange gold for gloom whenever you need to, so remember this location. And finally, with all that, I think that's about everything that I wish I knew earlier in my first playthrough of Mortal Shell 2. But make sure to let me know if any of this stuff helps your playthrough. And also let me know what do you think of Mortal Shell 2 if you've gotten a chance to put some time in. Bonus points if you indicate if you played the first Mortal Shell or if you're just going to go brand new in with the sequel. Alright, that's all I have for you in this one. Good luck, I'm Alex, thanks for watching, and I'm going to go eat.